I like the do-rag. You kind of look like the dude from Bloodsport right now.
Bloodsport.
Yeah, that like biker guy that hung out with Van Damme.
Yeah,
You know what's
yeah.
You know what's funny about that movie, Bloodsport? That it's supposed to be a true story.
Oh yeah, it's fake as hell.
Yeah. Except I think the guy's name is Frank Dukes or
Yeah,
something.
Frank Dukes.
What's the guy? Yeah, the problem is Frank Dukes is the only guy who has ever verified anything that happened in that film. So
Right.
yeah, I think he's totally full of shit.
He's batshit crazy. Like
Yeah.
I saw like a YouTube documentary about him, and apparently he like used to say that he like worked for the FBI or some shit. Right.
Oh,
He
boy.
also said something about birds and the robots. Birds are robots. They're not
Well,
real.
at least he's enlightened in that respect.
We're gonna pick and choose which ones we want to call real.
That's right.
Yeah, why not? Right? Why not?
Hey, it goes around.
So
It does.
Chad apparently is working at Circuit City. What are you wearing?
Yeah. What's up with that?
Nah, it's just it's an old Delphi T-shirt that I got when I used to make parts for him. So
All right.
yeah, I know.
I like the angle. It's very cool.
It does it look all right? Yeah, I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
gonna get cut off when we have all three of us up there or not, but it is what it is. I mean, the camera's there, the monitor's there, the three different things are all down here, and it's kind of a little bit of a juggle now with the soundboard and everything else. But
The
it
happy
allows
poo
us to
behind
do
you
some
is
cool
great.
stuff. What?
The happy poo behind you is great.
Happy poo.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see that. Yeah. I forget when the girls got me that one year for Valentine. Well, there was a debate going around. The girls, my two kids and I all know that that's a happy poo. That's a poo emoji. That's not chocolate ice cream. And my wife, for the longest time, said it was chocolate ice cream. That's how she used it.
The only thing that matters is that it's voiced by Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Had to bring it back. Had to bring it back to Trek.
Yeah. Well,
There.
here, let's do a new intro here. See how well this comes
I
through.
kind of hear like it sounds like wind or something.
Yeah, he's got his window
Oh.
down.
No, I had the AC going. Is that
Oh,
Oh, there
Yeah,
we
better?
go. Yeah.
tell me what intro this is from.
this is from Star Trek?
Is it?
Oh yeah. Anyone like that show?
It's all right.
Yeah. We got a lot of.
Without seeing it, where do you think this intro is from?
This is Lower Decks, isn't it?
Do you think? Is it Lower Decks? Is it a variation on Galaxy Quest? Or is it the
I was gonna
Orville?
say, I think it's Galaxy Quest.
No, it's not Galaxy Quest.
Is this your wake up? How you wake up every morning?
That's
with
Lower
this?
Decks. That is
Oh, it is
the
Lower
intro to
Decks.
Lower Decks. Now, the thing about that, though, is if you're not watching it for a split second there, you start to question yourself. Is that really Galaxy Quest or is that the Orville?
Well, that's because you've only heard it twice in your whole life.
True.
Yeah.
True. But I mean, when you're hearing it, though, that's the first thing I think of. I don't think of, I thought of the Orville the first time I heard it, honestly.
But it fits for both of those styles.
It does. So that gets into kind of our main topic, obviously, today is going to be talking about.
Chad.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Chad.
What did I forget?
It's not Rod Stewart. It's fine.
You
Not
think
Rod
so?
Stewart,
no.
but the guy who sounds like Rod Stewart, who
Yeah.
sang Russell Watson. All right, it's not Russell Watson. Count your blessings.
Yeah.
leave it
No
alone.
kidding. No. I got nothing bad to say about it. It's just a matter of anyway. We'll get into the topic when we get into it. So
Yeah.
it is TrekCast time. Finally, let's see.
TrekCast.
Nice.
The last show.
I like
last
when
show
you
we-
give yourself a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked.
Chad just needs some self-affirmation.
Yeah.
That's
what
right.
it
Hey,
is.
that's okay.
I'm
That's
doing a
right.
good job.
Yes.
Yes. I do need that. I live with 3 girls. I'm about ready to have a fourth when we get our puppy here at the end of the month. So
Oh, so you said last week you want to start putting the dates on these things. So
yeah.
welcome to TrekCast, the galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
Mhm.
I'm one of your hosts, Dan Lombardo. With me, Chad Waldo, Daniel Reyes. Today is August
9th.
9.
Jeez, I wanted to put the date on it, and I don't even know what date it is. August
It's the
9th.
9th. Yeah.
Yeah.
August 9th, 2020. We are live from the Las Vegas Rio at Star Trek.
Oh God, I wish.
Oh man.
Womp womp.
Maybe in a couple of months.
I don't know, man. December.
Yeah.
I got little kids.
I know.
You know, just saying to the wife, "Hey, I know it's second week in December, but I'm gonna pick up and go to Vegas with my buddies for a couple days."
Right between the two biggest holidays of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee anything at this point. We can't even guarantee it's going to be an actual STLV. Honestly, they moved it to that, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. So
doesn't mean anything. Nothing means anything anymore.
No, it's all played by ear.
Welcome to my outlook in life. Nothing means anything anymore.
This will also be, you know, like sandwiched right in between the presidential election and inauguration.
Right.
So we might be in full-on civil war by then. Who knows?
Yeah, regardless of the outcome, we could be.
Regardless,
you never know.
Yep.
See,
never
already
know.
starting. Alien invasion.
They're already starting. Both sides, or you know, no one's cast a ballot yet, and they're already trying to delegitimize the results. It's
yeah.
I don't know, man. Every day I wake up and I'm like, is this a movie that I'm living in? Am I living in a 5-part like movie of the week, late 80s like mini
Honestly,
series?
it's a really bad script if this is a movie.
2020 is the first 5 minutes of like Red Dawn or something like that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
the end of the world kind of.
Yeah. Well, it's the longest 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
God.
I
went
feel like
I went to my office the other day and I haven't been there in months, and it was like there's like phone messages taped to the wall, and I'm like, yeah, I should call that guy back. It's been 4 months. I should probably call that guy back. And then the murder hornets got me. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, we've got those over here.
Oh,
that's crazy.
yeah, you guys have them for real. For me, it was just a regular. It was just a regular hornet. But now I'm dealing with the fallout of it. You know, I got stung by a hornet while mowing the lawn, and it was fine. Like a week went by. You know, I had the localized swelling, and then a week went by, and it was fine. And over a week later, just all of a sudden, my leg just blew up and started swelling up, and apparently it was infected. So, you know, I went to the doctor. They gave me some antibiotics. 12 hours later, it was worse. I went to the ER. And they upped the antibiotics and gave me prednisone, which did great for my leg, except I had just started a diet, and I was really proud that I lost 8 pounds in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And prednisone
put it right back.
Yeah, put it right back. You know, my bladder is smaller than my grandfather's. I got to pee every 5 minutes. And you probably hear my voice sounds a little raspy.
A little bit.
I can't sleep. Oh man, it's keeping me up.
Really?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what time of day I take it. It doesn't matter what, you know, I've been trying to take it early in the morning so that by the time nighttime comes, I'm tired. Nope. I'm up all night watching, you know, reruns of whatever.
Right.
Bonanza.
Yeah. So I literally, you know, we do the show 11 a.m. Eastern. I literally woke up at 10:30 only because I set an alarm because I didn't fall asleep until the sun was coming up. But, oh man, I need like a hypo spray or something.
Blocks would have fixed you real fast.
I need a blue light to wave over my leg. And just
stop
UV
with
light.
the prednisone. There you go.
There we go. Nice. The mug.
Yep, the mug matching the tattoo.
Yeah.
Yep, we can see it. Pretty cool. All right, so why don't we just go right into the news?
Yeah, I was going to suggest that, but I thought you were going to say
there's a ton of feedback. I mean, it's like the feedback section just keeps growing. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. So,
all right.
At any moment we could possibly get a. Yeah, I was gonna say we could possibly get a phone call at any minute as well, just to warn you.
Attention all hands. It's time for Star Trek news.
Sorry, that was hot.
It's all good. Our first headline comes to us from Deadline.com, and the headline reads, Emma Watts' top priority at Paramount: figure out Star Trek reboot.
Emma Watson?
Emma Watts, that's the name of the film chief
Yeah.
at Paramount. She used to work over at Fox. The big thing now they're trying to do is figure out Star Trek because they don't know what they're doing, and it looks like we have no clear direction on what's going on.
Nah, the movies are totally in free fall
You're
at this
talking about
point.
film-wise.
Yeah, the movies, they're in free
film-wise, we have
fall.
no clue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like they have
don't do it
put
then.
the Noah Hawley project on pause, which the article speculates that that's just means eventually he's just going to walk away from it.
Yep.
But they don't know for sure. Technically, it's just on pause right now.
He's got other things to do. His calendar's probably filling up. He's not going to
Right.
wait around for it.
Right. So, and they don't know which direction they want to go in. Apparently, the Tarantino script is pretty good, is what they're saying. But it's all set in the 1930s. It's like kind of like a gangster film.
Ugh.
So what they're saying is they want to wait until Star Trek has been revitalized as a core franchise, and then they can bring in the Tarantino stuff as like a Logan-like spinoff, is what they're saying.
This makes no sense.
I know. The reason the Holly project is also kind of on pause is apparently in that script they have to fight a deadly virus, and so they feel like right now, given the current situation, it's probably a bad idea.
I don't know. It might be a good idea. It's a distraction, right? Yes, still a virus.
Yeah, I don't know. I think everybody's seen that movie at this point.
It's true. They've seen Contagion twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good point.
So yeah.
Hey, I got an idea.
What's that?
Just to solve this whole problem over there at Paramount. They should hire the three of us to write the script for a movie, because clearly they haven't got a fucking clue at this point.
Oh man,
all it is it'll be
Detective the movie.
Yeah, we'll just call it Star Trek 4. We'll set it in the Kelvin timeline, but we'll have it with totally unknown actors. It'll cost them all a $50 million. I get 10, you get 10, Dan gets 10, and there you go. The rest of it we'll come up with. I mean, it's simple. It's really simple.
As a corgi?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We'll have a dog corgi on there. I mean, honestly, at this point, I mean, you could almost make anything. You could make anything Trek-wise, less than $50 million. Just set the budget and go, and make it about almost anything, as long as it's not as nonsensical as a 1930s gangster film by Quentin Tarantino. I mean, and it'd be fine. It would make money.
Yeah.
It would make money, and you could do it and sell it and put it up on either CBS All Access or put it up on any Netflix, sell it to Netflix or whatever you want to do, and get your $50 million back pretty fast, or make a profit off it pretty fast, right? And not even have to worry about taking it to the theater.
It's so weird to me that they can't figure this out when like Star Trek is bigger than ever as far as like a cultural influence, you know?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah. So
what they need to do is, and the only way you can do this is by just doing it, but they need to normalize recasting of characters. Yeah. Okay, they need to make it a normal thing so that people don't wince every time they hear about it. Okay, Star Trek, for a lot of people, for the for the largest audience, Star Trek is Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, and the Enterprise. Okay, and unfortunately, that means if you're going to do a movie, it needs to be Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, and the Enterprise. Well, if the guys from the Kelvin timeline are not interested in making this movie, then you got to recast it. Just do it. I mean, how many James Bonds have there been?
Right.
Yeah.
How many Batman? How many Batmen? What's the plural on that? I don't know. How many Batmen have we had?
It's Bat-Eye.
Bat-Eye. Yes.
What?
You know, it for the majority of people out there, that's what Star Trek is. It's Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock on the Enterprise. There was a time in the late 90s, early 2000s where Star Trek for most people was, you know, Captain Picard and Data on the Enterprise. Okay, but that era has kind of passed.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Well, I'm talking about the mass. I'm talking about the masses. If you walk up to 10 totally random people on the street and point at them and say, name 3 people on the Enterprise, they're not going to say Captain Picard. They're not going to say Worf, Riker. They're going to say Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, and then it's going to be either, Scotty, Bones, or Uhura. That's what they're going to say.
And if anybody says Michael Burnham, I slap them.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but
It'd be different. It would be different if it was different in the late 90s or the mid 90s when we were just coming off of 7 years of TNG, 7 years of the highest rated syndicated television show of all time, finishing up its 7-year run.
Yeah.
But there's a whole new generation of people who, that's not their Trek.
But okay, so here's what I think. I think that right now in the cinemas, the big thing is rebooting things from the 80s and 90s, right? Which is completely TNG. So you've got a generation of fans that are our age or a little bit older who totally grew up on TNG. If you're going to reboot this for the movies, that's what you reboot. And I know everyone's going to freak out because, oh no, there's a new Picard or a new Data. Doesn't matter. And I don't care that Picard is going right now. That's its own thing. You can completely reboot it for film, have a whole new Picard, get James McAvoy in there, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, let me join with you. Let me join with you and tell you that I would love that.
Yeah, me too.
Because that is my Trek. Yeah. That is my Trek. Okay, so I just want to separate for you what I would love to see and what I think is a good business decision for CBS, Paramount, or Viacom, or whatever the hell their name is.
That may not happen.
They're two different. They're two different things. But no, I would love to see that James McAvoy as Picard, and I'm trying to think back to the reboot show. I can't remember his name right now. Anyway, never mind.
Can be Picard and Fassbender can be Riker. And
No, you want a bunch of unknowns. You don't even want to have Picard, Riker, Worf. You don't want to have those things. Kirk. You don't want to have any of that. It's really simple though. You just cast someone who's a good-looking guy. And the whole script is he's on a planet. He wakes up. He doesn't know who the hell he is or where he is. He's wearing raggedy clothes. It's not Starfleet equipment, right? And the whole movie is about him trying to find his way back to who he is. As it turns out, he's an ensign on board some no-name ship in Starfleet, and he got lost or left behind. And that's it. That's the whole movie. Done. Nailed it. $9 million is all you need to make that and move on. Everybody would watch it because it'd be intriguing. It'd be interesting. And they wouldn't even know it's Star Trek until they watched all 90 minutes of it. That'd be a simple thing to.
So here's a question. Would Voyager make a better franchise for film? Did we lose Chad?
Yeah, that or he's holding really still.
Yeah. He's like Drax. He's invisible. The longer he just stands still.
Did I lose both of you there for a few minutes?
You were frozen, man.
I lost both of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor connection. Switch to audio only. What the hell? I'm landlined here. Well, we've got a storm moving through the area.
All right. Well, I'll move to the next story.
Damn it.
All right. So our next story comes to us from cinemablend.com. And the headline reads, "Wait, is the Orville already getting canceled at Hulu after season 3? So, this caused quite the uproar because I posted it in the group earlier this week. That there is a rumor going around that the Orville is going to be canceled after season 3, and they're going to use the sets to do a Hitchhiker's Guide for the Galaxy show, and there was much despair. Well, ends up the real answer is it's not canceled right now. According to the Orville producer,
Dan, we got wind coming from your thing again.
Yeah. According to Orville producer Tom Castantino, he says, "We can barely figure out how to get back to work. Wouldn't worry about 2021 or 22. So that's where they're at right now.
Wouldn't worry about 21 or 22?
Yeah. Because
they can't even figure out how to get back to work. So if we get a season 3 from Orville next year, then that's it for at least another 2 years, is what he's saying?
I think he's just saying, stop worrying about it and let us on the show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't read too much more into that. Seth MacFarlane is a pretty pretty thinly stretched man, but he seems to be juggling all these hats all anyways. So I don't know.
From his house. Yeah.
Yeah. The other cause for concern is McFarlane no longer has a deal with the Disney-owned Fox, and so he signed a business deal with NBC Universal. So that could also be a reason why it might get cut at Hulu. But as of right now, it's not cut. It's still going. They're still trying to figure out season 3, and that's where we're at. So we'll have to, I wish I could give you a more definitive answer that no, it's not canceled for good.
Yeah.
But right now it's not. So that's that.
Well, it's like everything else in life right now. Who the hell knows? 1 minute to the next. It's the level of uncertainty has got to come down. It's a little much. Here, I was going to play an audio clip now that everything seems to be working real quick. This actually matches. This could actually be a conversation going on right now in the halls of CBS Viacom in terms of their movie strategy. This also could be going on in terms of background for whether or not there's going to be a season 4 of the Orville, right? So it's either way.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Captain, we are being hailed.
Yes, I know that, Data, but what could it be? A phone call?
Unknown, sir. Perhaps it is scanning us.
But is it alive? It is a life form and it has intelligence.
How do you know, sir?
It's trying to communicate with us. Oh, how touching.
Quite stimulating, wouldn't you say?
Indubitably.
What does that mean?
I was just being polite, sir.
Lieutenant Yar, hailing frequencies.
As in we have no freaking clue what's going on.
I was trying to figure that out.
Someone sent that in. It's just a matchup of
getting
a communication thing, which is also what happened with everything deciding to stop on Skype. Anyway, moving on.
All right. And our last story comes to us from TrekMovie.com. The headline is Watch Alone Together, a 4-part remote series read by Deep Space Nine actors in character. So I posted this in the Facebook group just before we went on to start recording so that everybody can enjoy this. Alexander Siddig, Dr. Bashir, to those who know, has been doing twice weekly Zoom chats on his website, Sid City, and he is
So Sid is bored. Got it. Thanks.
Right. Very bored. and he's calling his friends, and they're all kind of just messing around online.
Yeah.
And, it's Sid. Should I answer it?
Yeah. Well, what's kind of cool is they've done a 4-part series of a fan script, and they're reading the script in character. They're going with it. The script was written by a Canadian high school teacher, Matthew Campbell, and they brought in I'll just go with the character. Kira's in there, Jake's in there, Quark's in there, Garrick's in there, Bashir's in there. And so each one's about half an hour, and they read them all in character, and they just tell the story. It's kind of like an audio play a little bit. No real sound effects or anything like that, but it's nice. It's fun. It's something different.
I'll have to listen to that on my drive on Monday.
Yeah. I think it's I put it up in the group, and already people are saying that they're happy to see that. So
good.
If you want some more DS9 in your life, it's a new story. So
yeah, that's another thing they don't need to reboot. Anyway.
You don't want Michael B. Jordan as Cisco?
Oh boy.
I like Michael B. Jordan. There hasn't been anything that I've watched him do that I haven't liked. I mean, he's
Fantastic Four.
I actually enjoyed that movie. I really did. I actually enjoyed. I mean, it's crap in terms of what they did to the characters, but it's an okay. Yeah, exactly. But it's an okay movie. I mean, what they did with Miles Teller's, Mr. Fantastic himself. I mean, talk about ruining a character. But at the same time, though, I mean, it's an interesting movie. It looked good visually, so I don't know.
Not that Dr. Doom costume.
Well, that's true. That was pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, it was okay.
All right. Well, that's all the news stories.
Okay, so time to move back into the giant section of the show today, the feedback.
Yeah.
Hailing frequencies.
Open.
Where to begin on the feedback side? We got 3 voicemails. We'll play those at the end since they're related to the main topic today, which of course is Lower Decks, the first episode. What do you got on your end? Obviously, we've got a bunch of coffee account stuff to read. Daniel, you got anything else you want to go over?
Yes, I posted in the group like I do whenever we record.
Yep.
And I did mention that we were going to be talking about Lower Decks. So a lot of it is Lower Decks related.
Mhm.
But Alvin asked a great question.
Okay.
Because there's no statute limitations on murder, right?
Yeah.
So when Jaywayne returned to Earth, was she tried for the murder of Tuvix as she should be?
No.
No?
No.
Nope. And I'll explain to you why.
Okay. Explain
If
it.
she had, she would have been convicted.
Mm.
And if she was convicted, well, they don't promote convicted murderers to admiral. So that trial didn't happen.
She's an admiral.
No. That's sad.
It is. It is sad.
Yes.
It is sad. It's a travesty of justice. It's
Tuvix was the kind.
If Tuvix could have had a family.
He could have. He could have had two families.
So you know, people always say, he had a family. He had a family and it's gone now. He didn't have a family. He had two families.
I need to stitch together the scene of Cisco saying, "But it's real," or "It's not," or "It's not real," or whatever, and screaming with him looking at Tuvix. Tuvix wasn't really real.
So
he was real, but he wasn't.
If anyone who works over there at Lower Decks is listening to this, all I want, please, more than anything, I'm putting this out there right now. Who's the character on Lower Decks, the female who always has her sleeves rolled up, doesn't really care.
Beckett Mariner.
Okay. All I want is a throwaway line from Mariner about how Janeway killed Tuvix and nothing happened to her.
With as many throwaway lines as she has,
I know
that would be so easy for them to do.
How awesome would that be?
Yep. Well, if you're gonna, I mean, we'll get into that when we talk about the show. But I mean, there's so many things they're picking from. But anyway.
Yeah, I would love that too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we must always remember Tuvix.
Yep.
Yeah. Everything else is basically all Lower Decks related, so we should wait till the topic for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I put up a poll in the group about 5 days ago now. Just about everybody in the group, it feels like, took it. And it was, what apps do you use when you're listening to the show? Overwhelmingly, people listen to the show through Apple's podcast player. 26 plus voted for that. Coming in second, I was shocked by Stitcher, which I don't use anymore and used to. And something interesting about Stitcher is if you're listening to any podcast on Stitcher, then those listens or those streams, those are actually a stream, and they rejigger your MP3 that originally got loaded up wherever to Apple servers or podcasts or wherever you upload your podcast to. Stitcher's pulling that down and doing their own thing to it, so you're streaming it instead of downloading it. And what that means is, for every time someone listens to a podcast through Stitcher, it's not counted on Apple's side. It's not counted anywhere. You have no clue how many. Yeah, you have no clue how many downloads are coming from Stitcher. You don't get to see that. So the stats get really skewed. It's kind of an odd thing. Listen to it on Stitcher. You can. That's fine. No big deal. But coming in number 3 was Spotify, tied with Pocket Cast, which I know I've heard of Pocket Cast, but I've never seen it. And coming in dead last was Dogcatcher. What in the hell is Dogcatcher, John? John's the only one who's listening to it on Dogcatcher. I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that. Yeah.
No, that's a new one to me. But no, it's cool. There's a pretty wide spectrum there, and quite a few people were saying that not only do they listen to it on a podcast player, but they go back and watch on the YouTube stream as well, because they like to see Dan's face reactions to the things I say. No, the one who added one in, John Martinez, said YouTube because I like to see Chad's face when he's wrong.
Well, hey, if you guys listen to this on Stitcher, go write us a review, because we haven't had a review on there in a long time.
No.
So that's going to help us, grow the show. So go on Stitcher and review us. Yeah,
speaking of reviews, we did get a review on the Apple side of things here just a few days ago. This is a great review. We've got to read this so you guys can hear it, because it's awesome. So, entertaining if mostly somewhat relevant. 3-star review. He says, He says, now I want you to keep note of how many times he uses the word entertaining. Okay, so he used it once in the headline, in the subject, right? And here's what he wrote. He says, really entertaining, good background noise. The guys know their stuff, mostly. However, they struggle to stay on topic and rarely get down to business. Long intros, regular deviations can make this podcast about Star Trek news slightly frustrating if you're keen to know what you've missed. All around, though, a great entertainment show. That's it. That's from Rob Milley via Apple Podcasts. So he used entertaining 3 times, and he gave us a 3-star review. So good job there, Rob. You did good. This is not a news show, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say nobody comes here for the news.
No,
I mean, you know, Daniel.
They come here to get the news from Daniel's.
I'll just leave now.
No.
Come on, stop.
You know.
No, what I'm saying
buddy.
is you Google Star Trek news 5 minutes before the show and pick a couple of cool topics.
Don't tell my secrets.
But what I'm saying is nobody comes here for the news. They come here for our reaction to the news.
Yes.
Right.
So.
Right.
That was pretty. I thought that was pretty. Rob, you're not wrong. Okay,
no,
I'll be honest. It's not wrong, but he said we're entertaining 3 times, so that's great, and we are. We're definitely entertaining.
Well, we're glad to have him.
I laugh at myself, so.
Too much sometimes, but
too much. Yeah, I have way too much. I know. My wife always tells me that too. She says, "Chad, nobody laughs at your jokes. It's just you." And I said, "Hey, I'd rather be over here in the corner laughing with myself than not laughing at all."
Is that me?
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, there went away.
All right, good.
You guys aren't hearing that little tick sound in the background, are you? I think that's just my headphones.
There's always the dogs barking in my head, but that's about it.
Yeah. Okay, so other stuff on the review side or feedback side, because there's a lot.
You got the coffee, Kofi.
Yeah, I got that pulled up. So okay, there's a couple things going on here. All right, so first off, there's 2 songs that they're wanting us to sing, and I don't think anybody. Okay, first off, the first song I'm supposed to sing is the "Do You Want to Build a Warp Core?" Well, I've got a recording of that I'm working on with my daughter, and so we'll have that on the next show. It's not ready for today.
You guys do a TikTok dance too?
Yeah, we are. No, she got sick in the middle of the week and got a little bit of a sore throat, so we couldn't. She has molars, so it wasn't anything crazy. But
is it Corona?
No.
Is it Corona? I'm doing that because that has become a thing now.
Yeah.
If anyone is under the weather at all, someone will lean forward and say, "Is it Corona?" They jump to this conclusion. I put a Facebook post up about my leg being stung by a hornet, and people were asking me if it's Corona related.
That's
like the hornet got COVID-19.
The Corona hornets.
Yeah. I was having lunch outside in Lincoln, Nebraska a couple weeks back. We were sitting outside at a Chipotle, lunchtime, 12:30, 2 tables over. Some guy sneezes. I couldn't help myself. I turned and yelled at him, "Coronavirus!" I can't help it. Sorry. He laughed. And then the guy I was having lunch with, he looks at me and goes, you better be careful. Someone could get mad and want to fight you for that. And I said, "Bring it on. I got nothing else to do."
Wow.
Anyway. No, so that was one of the songs. We'll get that coming to you. The other one, we cannot do the original lyrics to Star Trek, the original series, the lyrics that Gene Roddenberry wrote. We cannot do those justice.
Why?
We just can't. Well, because Jack Black did it.
Does anybody like Star Trek? Old school from the 60s? Not Picard.
Can we sing along?
We can sing along, yeah.
I don't know the lyrics.
When he gets started.
It's our favorite
I know
TV show. We wanted to learn the theme song, so we went out and bought one of those books, the TV theme song books. And we were shocked to find that it has lyrics written by Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek. Hey, what's going on? Chill out. I'm trying to tell an incredible story about Star Trek. And the song is from the point of view of Captain Kirk's lover on Earth. And she's so bummed out because he's about to leave. She doesn't know when he's going to come back, if he's going to come back from space. And she's really worried because she suspects that he's going to go and make sweet love to
hell yeah,
alien women. all over the galaxy, and he is. He's gonna go make love with beautiful alien women, blue ones, purple ones, and this is her song.
Here it goes.
Beyond the rim of the starlight.
My love is wandering in starlight. I know we'll find in star-clustered regions. Love
It's so
strange
awesome.
love, a star will chance. And I know his journey ends never. His star turn must go on forever. But tell him as he wanders the starry,
That is
Nice.
awesome. That is so good. That is so good.
Oh my God! Have you
Never
seen the
do that.
guy? You ever see the guy on YouTube who's wrote lyrics to the Voyager theme song?
No.
No.
Oh my! If Mom's Basement was a person.
Oh man.
I'll have to
You
look
gotta
it up.
find that and post that in the group for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. Maybe we'll play it on the next show.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
pretty good. So anyway, that was one of the things that came in from Taryn. Taryn was the "Do you want to build a warp core?" And then he put the whole lyrics up there. But anyway, we'll get to that, Taryn. And then Commander Felton, 6 days ago, coffee for each of you. Thank you, sir. We always appreciate
Thank
it.
you, sir.
Of
Thank
course,
you very much.
this one here clarifies things. So in the subject of the donation, it says Daryl and yes, all variations of Daryl from the last 8 months. So every time Daryl's been, sometimes he spells his name with 2 R's and sometimes he doesn't. So I couldn't tell if that was the same person or not. So he just clarified that for us. So here's his read. At a table for 3, what Star Trek characters from all series would you guys put together and have a conversation? And then he goes on and says Guinan, Garrick, and Tuvik's topic would be Tuvik's execution or to stay as is. The needs of the two outweigh the needs of the transporter malfunction.
Oh no.
So anyway, no. What 3 characters from all series would you put together and have a conversation with? That's a tough one. I'd want Garrick there because that would just be fascinating. He could talk out of both sides of his mouth at the same time, and you'd done with the conversation, you wouldn't even know what the hell he said. But so that would be fascinating. I definitely want him at the table. I don't know if I'd want Kirk at the table. I think I've heard enough of Kirk in the last 50 years. I don't need that.
I want to see Guinan and Quark together.
Yeah.
Just trading bar secrets, or?
Well, I just think that they have such different, they're both bartenders, but they have such different personalities. He's always thinking of himself. She's always thinking of others.
And they've seen a lot.
That's a good combo.
Seen a lot. Yeah, I just think it would be interesting. And you know what? It could happen. They could totally do that next season on Picard. You know, he's still out. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, Quark's got a chain of bars now.
Yep.
So he does have a chain going. So he's still alive, I would imagine. Otherwise, they would change the name to the new owner. So they've already
the new owner would decide the value of the name, and then
true
decide if it's more valuable to keep it for name recognition. Come on, it's all business, man.
That's true. They probably would keep it for name recognition, and that's where you can get desiccated discs of Quark as well while you're drinking your Romulan whiskey.
Yep.
I got a little bit of a bone to pick with that, but we'll get into it. So,
yeah, me too. But
it shouldn't be a bone, but it is. But anyway,
okay, I would pick Phlox, Quark, and Neelix.
Phlox, Quark, and Neelix. Boy, that is the most annoying table I could think of in 10 Forward. I mean, good night.
I think it would be fun.
Yeah, it probably would be, but geez. I mean, the level of energy between Phlox and Neelix would make me want to just get them off the
They're like
right
Care
off the
Bears,
start.
and then Quark will just cut them down.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun to watch. Quark just
that's what I mean.
He'd want to get the hell out of there. That conversation
He's
wouldn't last
just gonna
very
rip
long.
on him the entire time.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Porthos, Spot,
There you go.
And the fish from Picard's office.
Now we're talking.
There you go.
I like that table. The big platter of fondue.
Yeah. Careful, they might be serving those 3. Anyway, so
Oh no.
okay. That was it on the coffee account side. Thanks for those donation, guys. Really appreciate it. Keep those coming. And that's it there. And then we've got voicemails. We have 3 different voicemails to play, all relating to people's personal reviews of Lower Decks, obviously, which came out on Thursday.
Should we play those then when we get into the topic?
Yeah, we'll play those when we get into the topic. Outside of that, I don't think I have anything else pressing on the review side. I think that's it.
Well, it sounds like we should get to the topic then.
Yep, let's get into the topic. I will get back to that and we'll go.
Talking about Star Trek in this week's topic. Talking about the Star Trek in this week's topic.
All right. And of course, the topic is Lower Decks. Just came out 3 days ago, and that's what we're doing now. So, was there anything anybody posted in the group you want to mention about that, by the way?
Well, I mean, reading everybody's feedback overall, Lower Decks may be the best received show that we've had.
Yeah.
It looks like this may be, from what I've seen online from other fans, not just in our groups, but in other groups, I would say this is the one show that seems well received universally. I've seen very little negative remarks. Everybody seems to love it because it's basically Star Trek memes the show. You know?
Yeah, I think it's also the fact that every new Star Trek that comes out, everyone's initial reaction is, "This isn't Star Trek.
Right.
This isn't the Star Trek I remember." And you know, I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah.
It's different in this situation because it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay. So
if this was live action, everybody would hate it.
Yeah. Nobody tunes in.
I don't know.
Expecting it to be anything like what they've seen before. So I think that initial reaction that everyone has is off the table. So
I think too that we've had 2 other shows. You know, we've had Discovery and we've had Picard, and it's kind of one of those things. Well, it's like, well, it's not like these 2 at least.
There's a little bit of that, but yeah. So we got 3 different voicemail reviews. Let's play those before we get into our full-blown review. Let's play those, and then you can kind of get a little taste of what these folks are saying. So here we go. Here's the first of 3.
Oh, hold on.
Yep.
Before we do any of that, if you haven't watched Lower Decks, this is spoilers all the way around.
Yeah.
So don't complain, don't cry. You have been warned.
I don't think we've ever gotten anybody complaining that we spoiled something for
them.
No,
but it's the internet, so I just want to make sure.
True. This is true. This is true. Yeah. Okay, so here's the first one.
All right.
Good evening, TrekCast. Good evening, Dan, Daniel, and Chad. This is Daniel Gooden from the Bronx. I want to start out by saying something positive. Lower Deck, CBS All Access. I really had high hopes for the show, very interested in the concept. But damn, really bad from my standpoint. Don't know what else to say, but just did not like it. I think if you like Beavis and Butthead mixed with Family Guy and Outer Space, this might be the show for you. I'm not going to write it off yet. I'll try to watch another episode or 2 and see if my opinion changes, but really, really disappointed. I don't know how else to put it, but just bad. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe.
Okay, so there's our first review. So that's 1 against, basically, where he didn't like it, right?
That's fine.
That's fine. So here's the second one.
Hey, guys. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Anyways, greetings from Cerritos, California. This is Taryn, and just want to put in a quick review of Lower Decks. I think I have 3 words for it. Trek, funny, fast-paced. Hey, guys. Live long and prosper. Thanks.
That's 4 words.
I've got to say, Taryn sounds exactly like how I thought he would have sounded.
Yeah. That's true. And that's 4 words, Taryn, but that's okay. We're not counting.
Yeah.
It was
Where's our bird video, Taryn?
hyphenated.
Yeah,
Where's
word.
the billboard video, Taryn?
What's that?
Bird billboard.
Yeah, we got to get that.
Yeah.
He's from Cerritos itself, right there, USS Cerritos, right there in California. So, pretty good. Okay.
Brennan's from the Bronx. I'm gonna have to hook up with him.
Yeah. Here's our third one.
Hey all, this is Jason Palmer. I thought Lower Decks was actually pretty good, surprisingly good. I've not been that impressed with most of the CBS All Access stuff. In fact, I had canceled the service and then discovered to my horror that months later they were still charging me. But about a minute after I canceled it for good, I realized that Lower Decks was coming out, and so I thought, well, what the heck, I'll give the first episode a shot, and it was actually pretty good. I'm still not going to give them $5.99 a month, but whatever.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, whatever. But so that's 2 for, and 1 against. 2 out of 3. I don't know. Overall impressions, guys. What did you think of that first episode?
I thought it was a blast, man. I had so much fun with it. I love how fast paced it is. I love the animation style is very modern.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's completely Rick and Morty, which fine, whatever. That the producer was a writer on Rick and Morty, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the Will Wheaton show, right? We're gonna.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, they had him on the Will Wheaton Nightmare.
Wait. Are you gonna spoil the Will Wheaton show for me? Come on.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I'm gonna. My favorite thing about the Will Wheaton show is because he's got to record because of quarantine, so it's all Zoom at his house, and so he's just sitting on his couch in a shirt and a tie, so it looks hilarious. But whatever. Yeah. So I thought the show was a lot of fun. I loved how funny it is and how quick the humor is. It's kind of slapstick but dry humor at the same time. I think it's a great blend.
Yeah. Dan, what are your thoughts?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. It was very funny. There were a lot of Star Trek callbacks, a lot of Star Trek Easter eggs, a lot of Star Trek related jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I have one bone to pick with it. Am I picking it now or
pick it now? Pick your bone now.
Pick it now. Some of the humor was a little bit too crass.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the language was inappropriate. It's still a cartoon. It's still Star Trek. I watched it with my 7-year-old son.
Oops.
And I won't do that again.
Yeah.
You get Starfleet officers calling each other dicks.
Yeah.
We've never had that before.
No.
We don't need that. Okay, I know it happened. This is the same bone I picked with Discovery, same bone I picked with Picard. Okay, this time around, it's like, it's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. I had hoped that this would be a gateway show that, I could get my son into Star Trek, and he enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
He enjoyed it. I'm not going to let him watch the next one because I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, he's a 7-year-old. You show him cartoon butts and he explodes. He explodes. And in the next 15 minutes, all it is butts, butts, butts.
Yeah.
He's a 7-year-old boy. Everything is poops and farts and butts. And so, even some of the stuff they had bleeped out,
Why did they bleep out shit and not bleep out the other stuff?
I don't know, but there was an F-bomb that they bleeped out in the preview for the next show.
Yeah.
Like, come on, these are cartoons.
Yeah.
I haven't watched The Simpsons in 25 years, but The Simpsons was funny and it was crass and they never had to resort to anything like that. So, I mean, I feel like the language didn't add anything. You know, they could have done the exact same show, and it would have been just as effective. So I don't know.
So you wanted it to be more PG than PG-13?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. You know, that's back in the day. They did things in layers. You know, you could watch a Warner Brothers cartoon, and the kids could enjoy it on one level, and the adults could enjoy it on a different level.
Right.
Okay, but the level that the adults were enjoying it on, it was coded, so the kids wouldn't get it. They wouldn't get it until they were 16 or 17 years old, and by that point, it doesn't matter because they're 16 or 17 years old. You know, so I just feel like with a little more finesse, they could have done that, and then we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Yeah, I can see your point. I think that Prodigy is going to be the one that's aimed at kids, so that's the one that's going to be G or PG.
But it's going to be aimed at little kids. I mean,
yeah,
that's a whole different thing. That's the kids
not
who
to
are
sound
watching
not to sound
Baby
selfish,
Einstein.
not to sound selfish, but I don't want to watch Prodigy on
Yeah,
Nickelodeon.
yeah.
I will probably not enjoy that.
Right.
So, you know, I was looking for this. I was looking. Oh, people listening. That's me putting my hands together, like joining them together, lacing
You're
my
looking
fingers.
for a bridge.
I'm looking for a bridge. I'm looking for something that we could enjoy together.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed.
Yep.
A little
That would be
disappointed on that. But but just for me, I mean, my wife and I rewatched it last night before, you know, to prep for the show. My wife and I watched it, and you know, she thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So,
my wife watched it with me.
Mariner.
She's not going to watch it again.
Yeah.
So okay, so here's my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus.
So, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I have two problems with it, and they're little problems. There's nothing. It's nothing that's going to keep me from watching it. I'm kind of on Daniel's side from the standpoint of this might be the most well-received new Trek ever. Even compared to TNG when it first came out and everybody was just going ape shit over that, or DS9 and Voyager and the whole nine yards. So especially with Picard and the mixed reviews on Picard and Discovery and everything else. But I enjoyed the hell out of it. I've watched it 3 times now, and I'm still picking out little things that I missed the first time. I mean, I didn't see Geordi's visor until the 3rd time I watched it, and it shows up twice, which is great. But no, my 2 bones to pick with, and they're little bones to pick. I know I'm nitpicking things, but that's
little
what we do here. Yeah. So why in the hell Romulan whiskey? Why isn't it just Romulan ale? It's blue. It's in a bottle. It's alcohol. I understand that Romulans can make all kinds of different beer or alcohol, but we all know what Romulan ale is. Why in the world would you introduce something new that's the exact same thing, but just call it Romulan whiskey? It just kind of...
I have a different bone to pick with that.
It's because they can sell that as a toy
on the
later.
fridge. Yeah.
No, my bone to pick with that is that every time Romulan ale is mentioned, immediately thereafter, it's also mentioned that it's illegal.
But they're doing it
it's
anyway.
Well, no. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like they're delivering the same line over and over and over and over and over again. It's like, all right, we get it. It's illegal.
Yep. So that's my first little thing. Yeah, it is awesome. Here's my first little thing. My second little thing is Beckett Mariner talks so damn fast sometimes. She's kind of hard to keep up with, and she's an extremely high energy character, which is fine. I like her character a lot. I really do enjoy her. But at times she's so frenetic. It's almost she's all over the place, almost as if she's schizophrenic. I mean, it's everywhere at 1 second, and that's kind of hard to keep up with. And I'm sure I'll get used to it. But I wish she'd kind of maybe calm down just a little bit and maybe not go so crazy every 5 seconds. But those are my only 2. I mean, it's little things. Those are my only 2 little things to nitpick. Everything else I really enjoy. There's so many different things happening, and it's kind of great. One of the things they did with this episode, and what I think they're probably going to do with every episode, is they're going to go back to the traditional. It all wraps up in one show.
Yeah,
it's a traditional A plot, B plot, and a C plot. And the
there's
funny
no
thing about
overall
that
story
is
arc, I don't
is
think.
they've turned those around on their head. So the A plot is getting to know Balmer and Beckett, Mariner, right? And them
Right.
going, their lower decks, that's their main thing, right? And the second
Right.
B plot is this date that the cyborg guy goes on. I forget his name now off the top of my head.
His name is Geordi.
Yeah, pretty much.
His name is Geordi.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
So, but his date that he goes on, and the main thing that's happening throughout the whole episode is the zombie outbreak thing. But that's actually the C plot with the senior staff. So they did a fantastic job of doing that. I thought that was great. That's a perfect. And there's so many callbacks to TNG stuff. Just the opening sequence looks like a cartoon version of TNG. The music
I've got a
is
list
good.
of Easter eggs.
Yeah, and there's a whole list of Easter eggs. We'll get into that. But yeah, I mean, they did a great job of layering it all in. And of course, at the very end of the episode, when Beckett Mariner is, I can't decide if I want to call her Beckett or just want to call her Mariner. Anyway.
So is that her first name? Her first name is Beckett?
First name is Beckett, last name is Mariner. So, and Balmer or Baumler, everybody keeps saying Balmer, but it's Baumler. That's his last name is Brad Baumler. But
it's Bumford.
Bumford, yeah, ends at Bumford because he's bumbling around. No, she throws out like every name you could recognize, and then of course she throws out Gary Mitchell, which it's just hysterical. And every tweet I've been putting out since then, I've put hashtag remember Gary Mitchell.
Well, the voice actress was on the Will Wheaton show, and she talked about how that's basically her. Like,
yeah,
it's turned up a little bit, but that's basically her personality.
Which kind of makes me wonder, because she was kind of herself on Space Force as well. This is Tawny Newsome, by the way, who's playing Beckett Mariner. And on Space Force, she was the helicopter pilot that flew around. What's his name? And then, of course, ended up going to space and saying, it's great to be black on the moon. Oops.
Nice.
Oops.
Nice.
That was a good line.
That was a great line. I really did enjoy Space Force as it wrapped up.
Too.
I really got to where I enjoyed it. But anyway,
I just watched the one episode.
Oh, you got to watch the whole thing. I mean,
watch it, man. It's good. It's fun.
It's they're quick. It gets to where it's enjoyable.
John
man, all I do is work from home. I have no time.
Yeah, exactly.
John
Malkovich is awesome.
Too.
Yeah, I do like Malkovich.
Him working off of Steve Carell, the two of them together.
Yeah,
it's good. It's enjoyable.
They are good pairing. They turned out to be a really good pairing.
So her name is Beckett Mariner.
Yes.
And spoiler alert, we find out at the end of the episode that her dad is an admiral.
And
her mother is the captain of the Cerritos. But what's her name? The captain.
I have no clue.
I don't remember.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
But what I mean is, I think she has a different last name.
Like all three of them have different last names?
Yeah. So it's like, is it a secret? Does nobody know that that's
no one knows.
Her daughter?
No one has. No one on the ship
sound like
has
it.
A clue. No one on the ship has a clue. Baumler doesn't have a clue. What's her name? The Orion, which is kind of interesting that they've got an Orion now in the serving in the Federation fleet. That's kind of. I think that's kind of cool. What's her name? Tindy, Devani Tindy. I think that's kind of a cool addition. Which I guess has happened before. I mean, hell, Kirk in the Kelvin timeline, there was an Orion, at Starfleet. So I guess that's not a uncommon thing, but it is the first time seeing it on the show, and she's one of the main characters. So you've got Orion as a main character. You've got obviously two humans as the main characters. Sam Rutherford, that's the guy's the cyborg guy.
Oh, the cyborg guy.
Yeah, that's his name.
Geordi.
Yeah.
Geordi. Yeah.
with his scout thing from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people will get that reference and be very excited.
Yeah, not me.
No, I have no clue. No, totally clueless.
Yeah.
So anyway, the overarching part of this anyway is Baumler and Mariner going down to the planet. Second contact. They do so much in the setup of this too. That's beautiful. They've actually got those transporter things lined out, all four of them, so that they can boost the signal. So they beam down inside of that area. What do they call those? I forget what they call those. Dang it.
Pattern enhancers.
Yeah, dude. Pattern enhancers. So they.
It is Rick and Morty because it just hit me. Mariner is completely Rick, always knows what's going on, knows how to deal with it. Blah 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 blah. And Baumler is totally Morty.
Yeah.
He's unsure, just wants to follow the rules and get things done. It's Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I've never seen Rick and Morty, so
No, he's right.
You just
He's
did.
right.
I just did.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, that's okay. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm
It's great.
totally
It's
okay with that. So
Yeah.
we need something kind of light and fun at this point, and we
yeah.
got it. We definitely got
Yeah.
it. I'm totally on board with it. So, but no, they
So
go down to
some
the
of the
planet, and he
Easter
gets
eggs.
his
You want me to
eggs,
go
he
through
gets
some
his
Easter
clothes
eggs?
sucked off. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for the Easter eggs.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go through a few because it's a pretty long list.
It
But
is.
one of the things is when Mariner's got her big right in the beginning, she's got like this big box of stuff, and that's where she digs the batholith out of. There's also a spiked glove that was used by the Leogians in Code of Honor.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I didn't even see that.
That's not an episode that gets a lot of references.
No.
So that's funny that that's in there. They in the what is it? When they're kind of walking by a map, they talk about cetacean ops.
Yeah.
Which is where
cetacean ops.
Yeah, where the dolphins and the whales live.
Oh.
Yeah. So we may or may not get to see that. They talked about it a lot on the Will Wheaton show.
They
so
did.
they definitely want to go there.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool.
I love that reference when he's pointing to the map and he goes, ops, ops, ops. We got ops everywhere. Ops is every 5 feet.
Exactly.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. The shuttle bay. So like in DS9, all their ships were named after a
rivers.
River. Yeah. Over here, it seems to be they're named after national parks. So we have the shuttle Joshua Tree, the Redwood, and Death Valley. It's very quick.
Yeah.
So let's see what else. Captain Freeman, that's her name. Her last name, Freeman.
Yeah, see, why is it Freeman? Why?
They kind of do a wide shot and they show like her wall of knickknacks.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff, including Cisco's baseball. And
yeah, how would she have Cisco's baseball?
Well, she has a baseball.
She has a baseball. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It says a baseball. It's like Cisco's baseball.
Gotcha.
She's got all these knickknacks. And they're all supposed to be represented. Like one of them is a sword, and some people think that may be Sulu's sword. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, and then in her ship in her office, when there's the one shot of Balmer just sitting there, there's a California flag behind her because they're a California class starship. So yeah,
it's a California class starship.
That's what they say.
They call it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So a whole new.
And it's got a name of a city in California. So
okay.
Cerritos.
Yep.
I'm wondering if all of the California class starships have are named after cities in California. That would be cool.
I would not want to be on the Burbank.
USS Oakland.
Yeah.
It would work. I mean, they got to be running out of names at this point.
Yeah. How many ships are there in Starfleet to begin with? I mean, there's got to be thousands and thousands of ships.
When I used to play Star Trek Online, every time I got a new ship, I would name it after a city, town, or village in the county that I lived in. So.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. There you go.
So what else you got for Easter eggs? What's that?
Oh, yeah, that's it. I mean, there's a bunch of other ones like when they get covered in the muck. It looks like they've got little goatees, like Mirror Universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But
did you see the Argo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
The sweet space dune buggy.
Yep. She's got that down. I'm losing my voice.
Yeah. But yeah.
Sorry.
There's a few other ones. I'll post the list in the group because it's a really long list. But yeah, there's a lot of fun Easter eggs throughout the show, and I imagine there will be every episode. It just seems like that kind of deal. According to the Will Wheaton show, the producer of this thing really loves Star Trek, but they always say that.
No, but you can tell. I mean, you listen to that one of the main artists that was there too. The way he was kind of commenting back and forth as well. You can tell they didn't really have to do too much research. They're huge TNG fans to begin with, and they were just spouting off stuff on that. That's probably the only Will Wheaton show I've seen so far that I would actually say you should probably go watch that.
Yeah.
After that, you probably won't want to watch it because next week he's going to have Tony Newsom on and the actors, and I always can't stand that. But when you've got the actual writers and artist guys on there that are taking care of the shots and why they added things or didn't add things, that was interesting. That was actually very. Even though Will Wheaton's got just a horrible interviewing technique, his passion and his nerdiness and his charm kind of comes through just enough to save it. No, I'd recommend going and watching that one. That's the only one I'd recommend watching so far for Ready Room, but it was good. And those guys clearly know their stuff. So I think
the one thing I thought was really funny. The one thing I thought was funny from that episode of the Will Wheaton show is they talked a lot about how they would use Memory Alpha and Wikipedia and everything, just because they're like, well, how do we figure out the layout of the show or the ship? And they just took that as gospel and went with it.
Yeah, Memory Alpha. That was funny. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Where else would you go to get that kind of information? I mean, there's no sense in rewriting everything or coming up with stuff from scratch. It's all right there. Just go pull it.
Yeah.
So
wow, how the world has changed. I remember 1994 having the Star Trek encyclopedia that was yay big, and how cool I thought that was. That had footnotes and references, and turn to page 137 for more info. And now it's all online, right there at your fingertips.
Yeah,
it's great.
2 seconds you've got it. It's awesome. So
yeah.
I do love the Doctor. You don't get much of her in this episode, and you're not going to get much of her, period, because she's one of the senior staff. But she's the Katian, the cat.
The cat.
And it's so funny how all of the senior staff, they're all kind of a little bit of a jerks.
Yeah.
But they think of everything that's happening that ended up being okay as something they did when in reality they didn't.
Right.
So it's kind of cool how they did that.
Yeah.
So,
I'm drawing a blank right now. Who's the doctor from season 2 of TNG?
Pulaski.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She is Pulaski as a cat.
Yeah.
That's how I saw her.
Yeah. Pretty much. And then of course when the Orion, what's her name? Dang it, I got to remember these names. Tendi. When Tendi goes into the first time she goes into the doctor's office, whatever you call it.
Sick bay?
Sick bay. I am so out of it right now. I have no idea why I can't think of anything.
You're killing me.
This is so bad. Anyway, so no, she goes into the sick bay. Then she goes over there with the one bald guy. And she's squeezing his heart. Every time she squeezes it, he's like, "That hurts." And she's like, "I'm sorry, but I got to do it."
Yeah.
I laughed. That was one of the few times I laughed out loud. It was funny and I enjoyed it, but it didn't have very many laugh out loud moments. I don't know if it was the same for you guys or not, but that was one where I did definitely.
Yeah.
So I kind of.
Yeah. Well, it's also a pilot.
It is, right? So I mean, it's a pilot. They're getting their feet wet. They're getting going. So it is what it is. But
I think it was a great pilot, though.
I think definitely. I think if you look at it from this standpoint, some people will think differently of it. The Orville itself is a show that is taking itself seriously, but is throwing in that random dick joke every once in a while. Like you could be right in the middle of a serious negotiation with another alien race, and someone will say something that seems kind of funny, and Mercer won't even look away from the alien. He'll just lean his head to the side a little bit towards Gordon and make some sarcastic comment or joke, and Gordon will reply, and it'll be right in the middle of the go, and then right back to seriousness, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a dramedy from that standpoint. It's a drama with a little bit of comedy. This, on the other hand, Lower Decks is more of a just flat out comedy with drama in the background. So it's a camera, however you want to say that, a comedy drama, right? So, and if you think of it that way first, then I don't know. To me, it just seems like it makes more sense. I think it fit together really well. So
yeah, I liked it a lot. I'm stoked for it, and I can't wait to watch more.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great. So I'm happy we have it.
Yep, I am too. We've got 23 weeks of Trek at this point. That was week 1, essentially. Now we have 22 more.
Right.
Wow.
We have 10 of these, right? We have 10. And
10 of these and then 13 of Disco.
Yeah, 13 of Disco starting on October 15th. So
correct.
We'll be going all the way until January.
There you go.
Yep. So that'd be great. I'm excited.
All right. I guess I'm going to see you bums every week for 23 weeks.
Every week, yep. It's going to be a
That's okay.
long run. That's okay.
It's okay. I can think of worse things.
Exactly, yeah. All right, anything
So-
else to say about Lower Decks, Daniel?
No. I'm good there. I have a New York question for Dan though.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. So, like you hear a random phrase as you're kind of like walking around and you're like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I heard this as I was walking around in downtown Coeur d'Alene. Somebody said, Long Island is the Boston of New York.
Long Island is the Boston of New York. Yeah. That makes sense. There's another phrase that you hear about Long Island quite often. It goes, hey, no shortage of assholes on Long Island.
And they're all wearing Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
Right on.
Anyway.
Yeah, Long Island. I spent more in the last month and a half. I've spent more time on Long Island than I care to.
Yeah.
Ever.
There you go. Well, I guess that's the show.
I guess that's the show here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple things real quick as we go. I am going to play. I don't know if you guys want me to play it here. You just want to add the audio, Daniel, if you can, or into the podcast itself. But it's that Arnie in Star Trek, or Arnie is Star Trek YouTube clip that one of the guys made and then put it up in the Facebook group. Did you watch that at all?
No.
You didn't? Okay.
Yeah, you can add it at the end.
Yeah, we can add it at the end. It's really good. You guys got to go watch that. It's hysterical. I laugh so damn hard.
Okay.
So we'll add that in.
Yeah.
And then anybody who's gone over and donated, obviously, there's special audio that's up on the Coffee account, or there's actually YouTube stuff that's up on the Coffee account, but there's also audio that's over on the website. And just to kind of give you a little taste, this is so inappropriate.
Oh, this is even worse. I haven't even read the first two words, and this is going to be bad. Christian is standing over me, gasping, a pleated leather riding crop. Holy shit.
That's it. I can't say anymore. Dan's like, why'd you do that? I played that for my wife, and she just about died laughing.
We forgot to mention this, but our friends have finally released their movie, Unbelievable.
Yes.
And it is on Amazon Prime. You can rent it or you can buy it. You can rent it for $3.99 or you can buy it for $9.99. I was going to mention we should probably do this as maybe a premium content thing.
Yeah, we really should.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah.
So is it even if you have Amazon Prime, you still have to rent it, or is it just it's part of the Prime subscription?
You still have to rent it.
Okay. That's fine. $3.99. That's easy enough.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah, so that's the Star Trek parody with a lot of Star Trek actors, about 43 Star Trek actors, and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
So
that right there sells it for me. I want to see it.
For sure. So we'll definitely have to do that. So
I'm surprised we haven't heard the guys on the Delta Flyers talk about that, because Garrett Wang is in it. Wang. I mean, he's in it, so I'm surprised he hasn't said anything about it on the show yet, but he hasn't. So
who knows?
It'll be good to watch.
And
I think that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the time we come back next week to do a recap of episode 2, I can't even think of the name of what you call a show, for God's sakes.
Lower Decks?
Lower Decks. But I mean the episode, the show, whatever.
I neither of you remember stuff today. I keep having to remind you.
Yeah, I just go take a nap or something, but I drank too much last night. I was drinking while I watched Wrath of Khan, so I had some Johnny Walker. That's probably what's doing it to me. Anyway, by the time we come back next week, we'll be over 4 million, because even if we didn't post up a show today, we'd probably be there, let alone posting up the show. That'll do it. So nice. 4 million downloads. Pretty sweet.
YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. So,
give us reviews wherever you can.
Yeah.
Instagram, the Instagram account that Daniel does is just hysterical. He's well over 2,200.
Yeah, nearly 23.
Huge. There's more. There's almost more over there than there is in the Facebook group, which is awesome.
That's the plan.
Good job. All right, that is it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you. Thanks.
Well, there you have it, another episode in the can. Check us out at TrekCast.com. Also, if you would, please subscribe to us via iTunes. Leave those reviews, subscribe to us, we'll get some numbers, get up the list, get more listeners, do more shows, have more fun. But for now, we're all done. So live long and prosper, and we'll see you next week.